Tom.
Go on, Tom.
Tonight marks my 70th poetry night in a year. I'm getting sick of listening to you bastards, I really am.
What are you an honorary member of, Tom?
Promiscuous Poetry Society?
No, the PPPS, the Promiscuous, Prolifically Promiscuous Poets Society.
I'll start off with this one. I normally do this at a new venue. I used to do this when I opened up bands. It's called Poetry, and that's my thoughts on the subject. Poetry, no thanks, it's not for me. It's a lot of wank about birds and bees. It's about country estates and observing flowers. I've got TV box sets and fake news to while away the hours. I gave up on Shakespeare when forced to learn about him in school when Miss What's-Her-Face had me get up and read him in the classroom. I'm not one for sonnets, they just don't relate. They can't connect to my confounded state. I can't stand poetry, especially if it doesn't rhyme. Dr. Zeus would turn in his grave if he knew I'd at the time to listen to some hippie dropout or tightly wound bin rave on about veganism or the fact that they're skinned. Poetry, you can shove that bollocks at your tightly wound arse and choke on those nuances that make you feel smart. Your highbrow wordplay doesn't wash for me. I was never one for bedtime stories, so why the fuck should I give a fuck about poetry? I've had a request, not that one.
Go on.
Depends on how sensitive you are, like. It's not what poets are like. Right, this one's about job interviews.
Yay.
It's called Temporary Position. A walking, talking hairpiece asked me where I want to be in 5 years with his Primark suit and his fetish for targets. Would I be interested in a supervisor position? Thanks, but no thanks. I don't fancy being a babysitter. I can't climb up the ladder because I've got a thing about heights. I just want to get paid, get drunk, because that's how I like to spend my nights. I'm not interested in teamwork because I'm here for myself. I'll stay before the rot sets in because working is a threat to my mental health. I'll work at my own pace, probably go for a wank in the bogs. I'm easily bored and I'm always pissed off. Don't ask me to do overtime because I don't want to be here in the first place. I'll do what I can until I'm comfortably replaced by some hipster student who thinks everything's a laugh. It's nothing fun sweating for 8 hours, you useless twat. Your worst enemy, who on paper seems exact, to act nicey and then slag you off behind your back. I'm asked to give an example on superior customer service. Must have been when I phoned in sick and had a marathon of acid trips. You asked me why I'm the best person for the applied job because I fucking showed up, you useless sod. Am I analytical? Can I work under pressure? I can barely get out of bed, let alone think of a decent answer to your double-handed query that you asked with smug eloquence. If I could earn a living picking my ass, then I'd certainly take the chance. You want me to describe myself and be specific, but I'm just another burnout, you pretentious prick. You need to know why I'm in the job market, because I need the money to settle my locals' debt. You ask me what I'm looking for, as if I'm Bono from U2. I obviously haven't found it yet, so that's why I'm talking to you. I'm not here for the long run, my objective is short. No sweat for my ass if I'm selected or not, because I don't fancy being bought. I'm just another standing, another job-seeking orphan. Life is a temporary position, and we're always here to go. Me and Nick Aarons, who is sitting at the back, we used to go to the ship open mic on a regular basis. And when I were leaving there one night, somebody grabbed me and said I needed to write a poem about crisps.
Yay!
I haven't seen this person since, but this is for them. This is called Space Raiders, if I can remember the opening line. Yeah, I can. Cloudy swirl burning a hole in my stomach from too many pints and laxative cigarettes. I need bulk to level my insides as I sigh upon realising they've run out of pork pies. What crisps have you got? I drunkenly inquire as my guts grow like a death metal choir. There's deep-fried Cajun squirrel, flame-grilled possum with ginger spice. I'll be happy with ready salted rather than Dorset cream infusions of grass. What's the fuck happened to salt and vinegar? These new concoctions by me head. Is it too much to ask for a bag of Space Raiders instead? Culinary fusions for £3 a bag, when all I want is a little snack. Nothing fancy, nothing debonair, 20% crisp, 80% air. Peking duck with hoisin sauce is too much for me. I'm accused of being too fussy. Sauté donkey with deli sensations make me feel sick, as I consider popping to the office for some frazzles or chipsticks. These newfangled delicacies can't appetise my needs. I'm a simple man with simple taste. Give me a bag of Space Raiders, please. This one, it's one of your more prosaic, lengthy ones. This is called Been and Done. I've been there. Those slow nights waiting for the one to arrive, only to fall asleep in front of the TV, dreaming of being the hero, then waking up in the morning just to go to some meaningless job to have somewhere to be. Distracted by errands to prove resourcefulness only onto yourself as you sit and watch people on the bus or shopping centres and you make up stories of how adventurous their lives are than your own, hoping that they're just as lonely. I've been there. The life of the party that everyone wants to get a piece of, only to discover that popularity equals zero, and that everyone is your mate within the right circumstance, and in the moment until you've decided that you've had enough and you want to go, because everything gets too full on. The rush of adrenaline overthrows logic to the point where you realise that no one really knows you, that you're complex and filled with so many chemical emotions that you forget yourself, or simply overindulge or retreat to the point where you feel sick and can't look within the reflection in the mirror the next day. I've been there, overworked, drifting in a sea of senseless ambition that only benefits those that suffer. The same struggle of responsibility marked by adulthood, but are too afraid to bridge the gap. For we are raised not to know any other form of communication, but to scream and yell when things don't go our way, to demand to control everything within our reach. For we are brainwashed into believing that we are entitled to everything, and that our actions hold no consequence, for the length of our lives is remembered for its enjoyment and nothing else. I've been there, holding out for something that will never happen, waiting on someone to change their mind, or simply to be in the right place, to be a means to an end, the knight in shining glittering armour who appears at the right point, to win when all seems lost, yet never to be found, for confusion runs thicker than blood these days, and we find to our dismay that we are just as bewildered as everyone else, and those who came before us, as we aim to make it up as we go along through levels of insanity and shades of chaos. I've been there, heartbroken and weary of love's eccentricities, only to find that it is one-sided, selfish and manipulative, knowing full well that it conquers in all that we partake in, to the point where its strength leads to our demise, that we beg for it willingly, always ready for the kill, to feel the imbalance, for we think it gives our existence credit and meaning, although it is as useful as a chocolate fireguard in moments of uncertainty that lead to internal brutality. I've been there, constantly in fear of opinions and thoughts of other people, so much so that I don't leave my room and intend to stay within the fantasies of others, for the reality seems more artificial than the imaginations of the damned, who, like myself, were simply too sensitive to atone to the hell of our fellow man and woman, and lead us to the conclusion that we're better off alone. I've been there, torn and frayed, tormented and strayed, demented, out of line, crazed, engulfed by the will, only to remain fully functional and easy to approach, when every moral fibre of my being wants to lose this imprisoning image of flesh and bone and ascend into the cosmos, only to stay more insane by the timidity and emptiness of one's burning flame. Like a hopeless, pausing prancer, it seems it's the same situation for all of us, but there are never any answers. Cheers.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, go on.
Do you want a poem about how I wank myself?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes,
come on.
absolutely. Go on, Tom.
Classic.
Well, I can tell now that you're not too easily offended.
This is a classic, everybody. It is a classic. It goes down well.
It is a classic.
Usually.
We need to give him a big hand for this one.
Do later. Well, obviously, you know this by now. All poets are wankers anyway. So the answer's for you. This is called "You're Never Alone with a Hand." When you're in the mood, but they're not broody, don't get upset, have a five-finger party. When you're overcome with passion, but trees on the rag and not wooed by your proposition that you'll go around the back, just create your balls and work the shaft, because you're never alone with a hand. When you're on a dry spell, and you have been for months, and the horizontal disco won't ease those headaches of hers, lower your blood pressure twice a day, keep your hand in a bag of rice, get your kicks your own way to ease those lonely nights. Go on a crusade of self-harm, because you're never alone with a hand. Become a renowned lover of your own practice. Face off the one-armed man with the wrist of elastic. Don't sit there broken-hearted when they spurn your advances. Just check the door before you molest yourself to avoid any embarrassment. I'm inseparable with your fam, because you're never alone with a hand. Anyone could be yours, any dog would fetch, but when you're on his toe, grabbing the devil by the horns works out best. Nobody knows better, and nobody touches you like yourself. Train that iron grip of yours for the betterment of your health. Spend some time with your favourite gland. You're never alone with a hand. Thank you very much.
That's so Fantastic.
Never
Brilliant.
going to be able to leave that poem behind.
This is great. Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah, you get to follow that now.
Challenge accepted.
Next